Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover a Micromaster base. Transformers Micromaster Ironworks. Here is Ironworks' base in its full setup mode. It's really neat. You can take good old Ironworks here and you can drive up this little ramp and park up here, and that's pretty much what he does. He is a construction worker guy. And you can just kind of drive down the other side. Very neat, very basic. It's got this huge crane that kind of moves back and forth and does have the ability to move up and down, which mine gets a little stiff sometimes there. There we go. But yeah, it moves up and down. And it's also got another peg hole here if you wanted to. You can take the crane and move it over here if you wanted to. So that way it's back a little further. So it's got options, which options are awesome. I love options. I like having the ability to be able to change things up a little bit if I wanted to. And he's got a nice sticker here. These stickers are just applied here on the crane part. And then here it's got a bit of looks like some steel I-beams. It's got some concrete bags and then some little barrels, and then it's got this whole little thing here where it looks like it's got like a excavator, not an excavator, but like a conveyor belt where it's just dropping stuff on top of this, and then the little barrels here. It's got some nice detail actually for what it is. Doesn't have a whole lot of detail around on the other sides, but that's okay, because I mean it's being constructed, whatever this is. It's not supposed to actually be really anything other than just a construction yard. But I think it's neat. I don't mind it. I'm really into that. And this kind of works pretty well. And what else is cool is if you happen to have the forbidden transformer called Erector, he actually works really well with him. I think these two complement each other very well, especially since he's also a crane himself. And the cool thing is you know, he's got ability to, this here is able to come off, and it's a 5mm port, so you can actually have more than one crane up here. Now, getting them both to operate at the same time is kind of difficult. I haven't actually done this much, but it's kind of cool to be able to put, like, you know, two cranes on one tower. It works very well, I think. It's kind of, you know, this is the whole play pattern behind Micromasters, is the fact that it had all these different little ports so you can plug different things in. His Erector's crane's a little larger, so it kind of fits in here. I don't want to kind of force it on, but it does. It does fit, which is neat. I'm really into the fact that these guys kind of are compatible with each other, which is really cool. So if you guys are trying to find a landfill, maybe get a Erector to complement it. It's really nice. But anyway, let's check out the little Ironworks himself. He's pretty neat. I do like him a lot. He happens to have a lot of craziness going on with him. You guys notice he happened to have a sticker right there on the back. It just says RI Construction. I'm not really sure what the RI refers to, but that's okay. A little bit of paintwork here just on the smokestack on the back, and then he's got his windows all picked out, and then the front of the truck. It would have been nice to see the headlights, because the headlights are there, they're molded in, but they're right there. It would have been cool to see just a dab of silver right there on those. It kind of, you know, poke out a little bit to show that he's a little semi-truck. Something I haven't tried doing, and I don't think this has capability of doing this, but you know, I guess you can pretend that he's pulling erector's crane around. I mean, it can sit on there, but it really can't actually pull anything. That's the sad thing about him. I kind of wish there was like a flip up part here on the back, so it's not just a flat plate to be able to just carry stuff. It would have been neat to see it actually have capability of pulling these little trailers. I mean, this would have been neat to see, you know, Ironworks pulling this trailer around. And it kind of works. Like, aesthetic wise, it works pretty well, I think. Kind of gives me that gives me the vibes of Star Convoy, because Star Convoy had an enormous trailer with a small cab. I think this is cool. But anyway, it's got a really neat transformation though. That's one thing I do like about Ironworks. It's got a very unique one. Back part here just kind of flips down, and then you take the whole cab piece here and it spins around. This is interesting. And then he just moves his hands up. And there you go. Yeah, Ironworks in his robot mode. And it's kind of funny how his shoulders set a little higher, but that's okay. That's the one thing I like about Micromasters, just how funky they are. I just love these little guys. They're so cool. I'm just into these dudes. A bit of a size comparison. Here he is next to Merman. One of my little Mega Constructs Merman. So, I mean, it kind of shows you Micromasters aren't as tiny as everybody else remembers them. They actually are a little bigger, which is cool. They're not quite Hot Wheels size, but you know, they're a little larger. Micromasters was developed to compete with the Micro Machines and all that kind of micro stuff. Everything was going on toward the tail end of the late 80s, going into the 90s. But he's really neat. He does happen to have this hole here is actually used so well you can peg him into certain things that actually had pegs. I don't know if this is a G.I. Joe compatible peg. I haven't ever looked at that. It looks like it's a little too small. So it's a little smaller than a G.I. Joe peg, so keep that in mind when you go trying to find stands to put these on if you didn't want to just stand them up like this. Anyway, let's take a look at his base. Taking a look at the base here, this actually does have a transformation as well, which is cool. These pieces here actually pop off. I didn't push this in here on all the way because over time I'm afraid these are going to snap because of the plastic. It's just, I get sad when I break a toy, so I try to be very gentle with these. But these do just pop on and off. They usually kind of just pop on and off pretty easily. There we go. Got it. I recommend kind of grabbing where these are at and pulling on. Don't ever just grab it here and yank it, because you're probably going to snap one of these off, because I've seen these completely break off over time. Anyway, just push those over to the side because you don't need them for the base mode. So the base mode itself, because it's going to get tall here in a second. It's very interesting. You take this whole piece here off, which, just FYI, if you really wanted to, you can stand Ironworks up in here, sort of, but it doesn't really fit that well. Now, if you want to set him down, because he does have a way here to set down, you may be able to kind of finagle this over him. Yeah, see, now it's like he's in a cage. I find that funny. But anyway, that's a good way to store him. Also, if you want to just kind of have him stored in this and just put away in a closet or something like that, if you're just doing that, or maybe you just have limited room on your shelves. But anyway, and we'll just take this piece here off too, because everything here is 5mm port. It's got, like I said, 2 there. Now these aren't; these are actually kind of just fit in. But I'll show you how this is going to work here in a second. This part here actually folds all the way out, and then it'll flip into position. And you hear that rattling around going on in there, right? Well, that's because it's got a whole tower piece here that comes down. What I normally do is grab it here before I put that in a position and try to push this down first. It's kind of hard to do sometimes. And what do you expect? These toys are really, there we go, got it. And this will fall all the way down and scare the crap out of me. And then it's got a rocket hidden in there. I'll set this here up all the way. just like that. And then you're going to take this part. This happens to have two little pegs. And those two pegs will go in these two little holes here. There we go, got a balcony. And like I said, he's going to get tall, so let's see here. It's got this other part here that you fold forward like this, and then spread this out like a fan. And it looks like a gigantic windmill. That's what it reminds me of, is a windmill. And what this is supposed to be is a huge solar collector, so you can actually angle it just like that. That's what it's supposed to be. Then you'll take the crane here, and you flip this part here up, and it should rest against this. These sometimes bend out a little bit. It's easy to fix. All you have to do is get a little bit of hot water and be able to fix that. And you'll take the rocket, and the rocket's actually got a slit on it that'll just sit on there just like that. And then you'll place the rocket right behind the command module. Command module and all that stuff does not have any pegs, so you kind of have to just use your imagination here. Like, you can sit Ironworks down here if you wanted to, like he's manning it, which is cool. Or you can stand him up inside of his little, kind of like his little balcony area here. That way he's just looking out, because this here could be radio controlled for all we know. It also has this kind of like a couple little cavities here on the sides, so that way you can use those for just wherever you want to put, like a transformer here, or maybe put him in vehicle mode and park him in there. This can kind of be something if you really wanted to try to fit a figure in here, but he's a little too big to fit in here. But, you know, it's really kind of hard to see all that. So, like I said, he's got a place here to be able to park Micromaster here, or I mean, he can even sit in here if you wanted him to. He's taking a lunch break. Or you can sit him in here like this, like he's taking a lunch break. It's kind of silly. I think it's funny that we got a bunch of like dirt and stuff here on the side, but that's okay. I mean, this is meant to be part of the zone base, so I can understand it and forgive it for what that's worth. But to be honest, this is a very, very cool set. As for the ramps, I mean, really, it's kind of your imagination what you do with the ramps, because they don't really have any place to click in. I sometimes just kind of set them to the side here and just used them as, you know, maybe just an expansion to the flooring that he has going on here. So that way it looks like he's actually built a base from the bits and pieces that he has. So, I mean, you can just kind of stand him there. It's very cool. I do like it. But Ironworks is well worth your money, especially if you have a Rector here. Rector actually works as a very good augmented thing. And I'll quickly put him in his little robot mode here, and then, you know, his colors actually match as well, which is cool. And like I said, if you happen to have a Rector and, you know, you just want like an extra firing gun, I mean, it's perfect to add to the ensemble. I'm a big fan of this, and I think it works very, very well. But anyway, this has been Plascon. This has been another Transformer review, Generation 1, which is strange, but hey, I like Micromasters. But anyway, this is me, signing off. Peace out, y'all. See you around, because I have plenty more coming your way. That's it for now. Bye!